Hey everybody, it's Brad from the Big Family Homestead, and today, as you can clearly see, we have a legend, a myth made reality. I think the only way I can describe it is omnipresence of redneckery, and I love it. It's Wayne from Wayne's Country Living. Yes, and I made all that up. I mean,
a legend in my own mind, maybe.
Well, hey. So you are here in southwestern Ohio, and today we had an awesome opportunity. We actually had a bunch of chickens that we were going to, but Wayne could use them, and so we thought, well, why not pass them on to Wayne? And so he drove over here, but then I was like, you know what? We are not missing out on an opportunity just to shoot the breeze.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, well, it's your interview, so what's your first question?
How do I grow a fancy beard like that?
Well, to get it like this, first of all, you have to be in the rock and roll industry for many years and have many brushes with death, okay. Which I don't recommend. So, all right, question for you then. There we go, tit for tat, right?
Okay.
So, how much weight have you lost from when you and Jason Big Bear started the weight loss challenge? Because you don't look like the same dude, man. I am straight up impressed.
From the weight loss challenge, when we first started that, it's almost 30 pounds. Altogether, it's over 50.
Oh my gosh, man. Well, I remember like when my mom was, in her weight loss phase, how women go, they go, just like everybody else. But she would equate, when you lose 5 pounds, think of it like a bag of sugar. Mm-hmm. And I was like, geez, that really is a lot. And then you start adding them up, and then a 50-pound sack of food. I mean, you must feel like a completely different guy.
Well, that's exactly what Jane all told me. He said it's like carrying around a 50-pound sack of feed right here on your stomach.
So, well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you don't realize you're carrying that until you lose it, and then it's liberating.
Well, how did you do it?
When I first started, I quit drinking pop. I said, okay, I'm done with the pop.
For those of you who are in the South, that's
soda,
or
if
Coke.
You want to get pop,
or Coke,
yeah, or Coke or what. Where I'm from, it's pop.
Pop.
But yeah, I had sugar problems, and I was starting to get dizzy. So I thought, okay, enough is enough. I quit that out completely. Lost 35 pounds,
just off soda,
just like that.
Holy smokes!
Within a month, and not even doing anything. So then I was still binge eating real bad.
Right.
Because I've said in some of my videos, I swear I have a food addiction. And so I would sit at home and just eat all night long. And eventually it caught up to me, and I sat down on the couch one evening and then woke up on the floor.
Oh my gracious.
So I had to have passed out and not even realized. I woke up with my elbow hurting. I said enough is enough. So I saw a nutritionist doctor. He gave me a strict calorie count. I've been sticking with that. I've been sticking with drinking a gallon of water a day.
Is that hard to do?
At first it is, but then you get used to it. Like it's second nature. I usually always have water with me. Really? Mm-hmm.
So, but like when it first started out, because I know that there's a thing that you can actually poison yourself with too much water.
Yeah, that's called overhydration.
Yeah, but a gallon's not going to do it.
No.
But the question I have was like, okay, when you started out, you're like, I'm going to do a gallon of water. How much did you actually get through before you're like, I just can't do this anymore?
When I first started, I probably got through a half a gallon, but the problem was it's a gallon of water a day, so that's 24 hours. I was trying to do it within an 8-hour period.
Oh.
So to me, a day is a work day because I work 8 hours a day, and so I would carry a gallon of water with me everywhere, and so I had to realize, that's a gallon of water with your breakfast, your lunch, throughout the day, sitting at home instead of reaching for a pop, get a water, and of course you've got that sleep period that you've got, but.
So then you go intravenously while you're sleeping.
But people
that's
don't
cheating,
realize
man.
Too,
that's cheating.
You also get water through your food.
Yeah.
So you may be drinking a gallon that you're actually keeping track of, but you're not keeping track of what's in your food, especially any vegetables. They're always going to have some water.
That's an excellent point. I think we should start the watermelon diet, where all you ever eat is watermelon, but you have to eat one a day.
Yeah. I could probably do that.
I probably could. Have you ever had dehydrated watermelon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like candy, man.
Yeah.
It's candy. So then, now once you're past this initial, I've got this, was there a point where you're like, you hit a wall and you're like, I can't lose anymore. And because I feel like when I view eating, because I'm a large man, I view eating kind of like a long distance runner. When you hit that wall, you just got to eat right through the barrier. You guys just take no prisoners.
Yeah.
But on the reverse side of it, when you're trying to lose, is there a barrier that happens, or was it just kind of like a process?
Well, that reminds me of that comedian. I can't remember which one it was. He said the doctor asked him, "Well, how much do you eat after you're full, or how long is it before you quit eating when you're full?" And he goes, "Full? There is no full." He said, "I don't quit eating until I hate myself."
Oh, until I begin the self-loathing.
But I'm actually at that point right now.
Really?
Where I've hit my plateau. I haven't lost any more, but I haven't gained any either. I went to the doctor Thursday, I think. I think it was Thursday. And he said that happens.
Yeah.
He goes, it happens with everybody. The best thing you can do is keep sticking with it. He said, as long as you eat below your calorie count, and it's different for everybody, so always check with the doctor or whoever. Mine is 1,500 calories a day.
Wow.
As long as I stay at 1,500 every day, he goes, you will lose weight. Because your body burns around 2,000. So,
well, especially where you guys live, there's hills everywhere. Everything's a hill.
Yeah, and he said exercise and stuff like that, of course, is important, but that just makes it go faster.
Huh.
He said you could lay on the couch and eat nothing but Twinkies, but as long as you stayed below your calorie count, you're going to lose weight.
So, for those out there who may be going, Twinkie diet, I don't think that's the recommendation.
No, there was actually a guy, I can't remember his name, that did a study on that. He wanted to prove that the best diet out there was a calorie diet. So he ate Twinkies for nothing but a month.
And it worked.
And he had to have been, he's stronger than me because I like Twinkies, but not every day for 30 days.
Well, I know, I mean, in high school, working at Pizza Hut, the last thing you want to see is a pizza after you've been working there for a week or two.
But the water, believe it or not, the more water you take in, the more water you let out. So a lot of people don't realize they're carrying water weight. So when I started drinking that water, I lost a lot of weight real quick because I was losing a lot of water weight. And then I started getting into my fat weight, which is going to take a little bit more. But I'm...
You know, I haven't heard much about it, but there's a radio ad on the AM band here in the Cincinnati area that there's supposedly some process that they figured out where they can actually freeze your fat and you pass it out.
I don't know.
That's they're advertising it. Who knows? It could be snake oil, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure somebody... I mean, how many diet fads are there out there? So.
Yeah, but I mean, what do? Just lay around on an ice block? I don't know. So, all right. Well, that I got to tell you what, man. It's encouraging because having known you before, it's like meeting a completely different person. Even your attitude, you're like lighter, brighter, quicker, sharper. Mm-hmm. Everything about you is like a different dude.
Well, you don't realize. I mean, it happens with anything. You know, over time, you just kind of get complacent, and you don't realize it until, man, I'm almost 300 pounds.
Oof.
And it's like, I've got to do something about this. And like you said, the hills.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, you get somebody like J-Nol, he can track up them hills like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was having trouble. I really was. I was losing my breath. I'd have to take longer breaks to get up to where I needed to go. And I feel like now I can jet right up there. And of course, I have been building some muscle too, trying to...
I mean, yeah, you got the guns going on there. Look at that.
More than my legs.
Twin Towers. So now, okay. Kudos, man. Kudos. And let's talk just a little bit about stuff that's going on in your channel.
Okay.
Because you used to call it a different name. Now it's Wayne's Country Living. And you focus on a wide variety of topics. So what's kind of the fare of the day, so to speak?
Basically, I started out as Wayne's Homestead because I needed a name to start YouTube. And I thought, Wayne's Homestead sounds good. Well, I got to talking to a few people and realizing that I don't always do homesteading videos. Mm-hmm. It's not always about that. And so it was suggested to me to call it Wayne's Country Living. I thought, that's perfect. Because I can still do homesteading and still go up in the hills and hunt and still do that. So basically, I put very little planning into what I'm going to record. and the simple version is I record whatever I'm doing on any particular day.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar. So, we're doing a vlog video today because he came over and we were doing chickens and we had to go get a Christmas tree, and that's what you'll see. Well, you probably, by the time you see this, you will have seen that.
Yeah.
So, favorite things to do in the winter?
Wintertime's hard for me. I work a lot. For those of you who don't know, I'm in the propane industry. Wintertime is our bread and butter.
And it's probably not the easiest time to deliver it.
No.
In the mountains.
No. We've got forecasted snow hitting us next weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
So when that happens, all bets are off. The phones are not going to stop ringing with first flake of snow. So that's our crunch time. So we'll go out and be delivering that. By the time I get home from work, it's dark. So
But that's at 3 o'clock now, so.
Yeah. So it's hard for me to get out and do stuff. If I didn't have to work, my favorite things would, of course, be hunting and trapping and, even still fishing.
And fishing for the ladies. Yeah. Just, hey, private message me if you're interested. I'll hook you right up. He's like, shut up, Brad. Sorry.
Anyway.
Help me help you, brother. Help me help you.
Anyway.
Send me your bio.
We can still fish in the winter. I just haven't been able to do it. I haven't been able to get out, and usually on the weekends I have my daughter. She's with my mom right now, so.
Well, question on fishing in the winter, because a lot of people know we're relatively new to the whole self-reliant thing. Only about 6 years, and we've got chickens and rabbits and bees and stuff like that. But I have been pushing back on hunting just because I don't want to learn how to hunt from somebody who's not really good at it. Mm-hmm. I don't want to learn from like a Bobo weekend warrior who's going to teach me wrong. But it's the same thing with fishing. When I was a kid, my dad would try to take me fishing and I'd get bored. And I'd be like, I don't want to be. So fishing in the winter, because I'm asking from a genuine I don't know. Do they bite as much? Do you catch as much? How do you change your patterns?
What you have to realize is fish, they've got to eat all year round.
Right. I just assumed they'd slow down.
They do. When the water gets really, really cold, they'll all settle down at the bottom. And I've seen in some cases, if ponds or lakes freeze over, they'll even freeze into the ice.
What?
And then thaw out and be okay.
Crazy.
I've actually seen that. But they have to eat. If they're swimming around, they slow down, of course. The water's colder, so they're going to... but you don't really change much of a tactic as far as bait goes.
Nothing?
Not really. I mean, they're either biting or they're not.
Ain't that something?
To me, anyway. Now, you go... and you also have to use a bait good for your area.
Right.
If we would use skipjack, which is like a little herring fish, we use for catfishing. Mm-hmm. If we would take that to Florida, there'd be nothing to bite on it, I bet.
Because it's got to be whatever's in their indigenous area.
It's what they're eating. It's what they're used to. So, but yeah, I mean, night crawler and a bobber. You can't go wrong with a worm.
That poor fish that's frozen that's trying to bite at the worm but can't get away from the frozen block of ice.
Well, that's, I don't know if that happens with every breed of fish, but I have actually seen them chip a fish out of an ice block before. And it was alive. So
I actually read a story one time. It was a news article on a woman who had chickens, and she lived in the Boston area. The chickens, she thought she had them all in the coop at night. Bad snowstorm. One of the chickens got up under her house, and it froze solid. She brought it out, warmed it up slowly with a heating pad, and it came right back to life. Right back to life.
Crazy.
Don't know if it's true, but it was in the news.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you see people going, especially up north, where they're going ice fishing.
Oh, yeah.
So...
Yeah. It makes sense. It's just...
Changing the tactics... I don't think you would use different bait. To me, I mean, the baits, the things they eat is not going to change in the winter.
True.
So it all stays the same, except you're freezing your hind end off while you're doing it.
So any plans, any exciting videos coming up on Wayne's Country Living channel?
I have been.
He's got a new chicken coop to build. That's for sure.
At least a new run for sure. I have been I brought up probably a year ago that I had a moonshine recipe.
Oh.
I'm not much of a drinker.
Okay.
So, but moonshine can be used for, antiseptic, bartering, different stuff like that.
You can make it into fuel.
Yeah. So people have been wanting to see that. problem is it's gotten cold on me, and it's hard to
get the yeast to do that.
It's hard
thing.
to get the mash going when it's cold, unless I would do it inside or something. But
yeah.
That's going to be coming up. It's incredibly illegal.
Well, now hold on. Now hold one quick second, because I actually went through the process with the ATF.
Oh, really?
I did. And if you go through the process and you fill out your paperwork, which doesn't cost you anything, you're allowed to, I think it's 10,000 gallons of fuel. Fuel. And the way that they say it is, if you put it in a glass, it's illegal. If you put it in a tank, you're fine. Because, you know, I went at the process for figuring out how to make ethanol, you know, in case there was a situation where you can't, you know, go and get gasoline. And there's certain engines that you really want to make sure you have. Like, think about it like this. Like, what is the one thing on a homestead or a farm or anything that probably does more work than any other tool engine-wise? What would you say?
To me, that would be a chainsaw.
Bingo. Can you imagine out there chopping just to get one log? Nuh-uh. And if I can make fuel and put some oil in there and it'll run rough, it'll still run.
That's true.
So you might want to check into that, man.
I will. It's not something I'm going to continue to do. It's just, you know, I've done it in the past before, and I've got a recipe that was passed down. My relatives have lived down towards the Hatfield-McCoy area. That's where they came from, and I think that's where the recipe came from.
Nice.
So I might do that.
It's for fuel only, though.
Yeah.
It's for fuel. Well, he chuckles. He'd be upset.
It won't be enough. It might be only a few glasses.
There you go.
So
anyway, be looking for that. Wayne's Country Living. I got to tell you what, man. Thank you for coming by.
Not a problem.
All right.
It's a fun journey.
Make sure that you go over, sub to Wayne's Country Living, and you know, tell them how awesome it is that the end. See, like, he got sidetracked, I got sidetracked.
Yeah.
It's gone. This is happening in real time. Anyway, so I'm Brad, and
I'm Wayne.
And you guys have an amazing day.
Thanks.